event this week is going to be Bobby Dahl taking on the sensational one, Steve Savage. I just happen to have the sensational one here with me this week to help commentate and give us the information on the participants of this match. Nice to have you with us again this week, Steve.
Well, it's good to be here, Philip. Let me tell you something, man. I've been out and about doing things all over, but now the Independent Wrestling Classics, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be any place but right here. And once again, a great upcoming broadcaster, and my co-host this week is Philip J. Farrell.
Well, thank you very much, Steve, for those words of encouragement. And here you are coming to the ring, slapping high fives with the fans. And I know the fans have always been a part of your career. They've always been a big part of your wrestling strategy.
That's exactly right. You know, without these great fans, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of fans each year, every night, every day, whatever it takes out there participating in these events, man, it makes it all worthwhile. 110% as I try to give it. Right here, I think I was the All-Pro Heavyweight Wrestling Champion right there, the APW. And it took me a long time. I'm not going to sit here and say it was a cakewalk, and it wasn't. Let me tell you something. It took me a long time to get that belt, fighting, climbing to the top. Finally made it. And now, hey, man, it's no piece of cake now. I've got to defend that thing every 30 days, and people's gunning me left and right, far from the far east to Alabama. You know, it don't make no difference where you are or who you are. It's what you got around your waist, and that's what they want. The APW Heavyweight Champion. And I'll tell you, Jerry,
well, that's absolutely right. And here you see vintage Steve Savage there, scooting out of the ring, going after his opponent. Bobby Dahl likes to waste time on the outside. He likes to use the ropes. He likes to use the outside of the ring to his advantage as far as the time limit goes.
Another thing about Bobby Dahl, you know, I've wrestled him. We're no strangers when it comes to professional wrestling. Bobby Dahl and myself, believe it or not, we have actually tagged before, and it was an experience for me because I turned rule breaker to fan favorite possibly just about overnight. And man, I tell you what, I saw the light. Now the fans are right behind me, and this U.S. Express thing that I guess you mentioned earlier, me and the Lightning Kid, we're going to the top. We're not going to stop. Red, white, and blue, and patriotism shows no boundaries. And I'll tell you what, we're coming to a town shortly near you. I've been sidelined, and all these injuries that came up and kind of sidelined, did some broadcast and announcing, some special refereeing, but now I'm back in action. And I'll tell you what, Philip, when me and Jerry Reiner, the Lightning Kid, hit the ring, look out, because tag team personification is on hand.
Well, it's absolutely wonderful to see you back in the ring, Steve. I know a lot of cards and letters came into the studio wanting to see Steve Savage on the card, and we are certainly glad to have you back. And you mentioned the Lightning Kid, Jerry Reiner, or the USA Kid as they call him now, your tag team partner in the U.S. Express. I tell you, there's just all kinds of potential there, and I know y'all are going to make it to the top.
That's exactly right. You know, I could sit here and talk about it all night, you know, but I don't want to take up any of this precious time because we've got a great match right here on hand. Bobby Dahl, the challenger, if you will, against myself, Steve Savage right there, and it's for the championship belt. There again, there's Albert Williams, the special referee for the event, the official, and they just pulled this guy out of the closet or something. You know, he did anything. He didn't know anything about wrestling, the books or anything, but he wanted to do a championship match, and right there, he's got what he wants.
That's exactly right. He was not a trained wrestling official, and as I recall at this card.
Well, that was to the advantage of Bobby Dahl right there. That referee could have cost me the APW heavyweight belt. But as you're going to see later on in this event, well, I don't want to say any more.
Yeah, don't spoil it for the fans out there. Now you see Bobby Dahl primping and posing for the crowd and for the camera as well. Circling, collar and elbow tie up. Back to the ropes. Irish whip reversed. He ducked the clothesline, ducks the elbow, high crossbody. That was an amazing move. High aerial tactics shown there. And I've got to tell you, Steve, it seems sometimes like you have springs in your legs.
Well, it feels like I have springs in my legs sometimes. Let me tell you something. This weight in this match, you know, I'm no big guy by any means. The most I've weighed is about 240. And right there, I believe I'm at about 225. Bobby Doll, of course, is about 250. And the weight's going out to Bobby. I mean, if he ever gets his hands on you, I try to stay away from my opponents as much as I can and try to wear them out. You know, I'm a rope man, ring rope and high flying or whatever, but when it comes to wrestling, hey, I know exactly what I'm doing inside that ring. Look at there, Bobby Doll picking up a chair, threatening me, and I don't know what he's saying to the referee right there, but it's to his advantage, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Albert Williams getting the chair away at least. I have to give him credit for that. Bobby Doll has a thing for steel chairs. I know the week prior to this match, he tried to use a chair to win. And, of course, one of the great fans in the arena actually snatched the chair off the turnbuckle, allowing you to reverse and actually get the pin. And that was actually in your favor. The fans literally had a hand in it. The good sunset flip there. Hooks the arms.
Oh, nice.
Got a good solid 2 count there. Doll barely able to weasel his way out, and it looks like he's headed for the dressing room.
Well, there again, you said something about the wrestling fans. They're ecstatic here. We've got a crowd on hand. It may not be a large crowd. You know, it don't matter to me who's there. I'm at my 110% right there in the ring. I'll tell you what. You said something about the fans, and I'll tell you what about them. As long as they're behind you, man, you feel like you can go on to the top. You can keep on and on. Wait a second. There's Don Fargo. That looks like Don Fargo.
Absolutely. That is the infamous Don Fargo, and he's coming out here on Bobby Doll's behalf, as I seem to recall, to act as his manager. Looks like he's jawing with Albert Williams there. He's got no business being at ringside.
That's exactly right. There's 3 men against me right there. I'm defending the APW belt. He has no rights. He's not a manager or anything like that. Bobby Doll, at times, he enters the ring, looks like $1 million. Not that he has $1 million, but he looks like it. But look at this, man. The infamous one, like you said, the wild man, Don Fargo, has made it to ringside, and I just don't believe it. I can't. I've got to watch all ends.
And it looks now like Doll wants to extend the hand of friendship. Yeah, right, like you'd buy that one. He's even got one hand behind his back. And Fargo over there distracting the official momentarily.
I don't think he was distracting that official. I think he was paid off. You know, I can't accept it, you know.
Wait a minute. Didn't mean to step on your toes there, but a big clothesline. That was nicely executed. And it looks like Doll's going to scoot out of the ring once again.
There again, he's killing time. He's a crafty ring veteran, man. He knows the ropes. He knows the ins and outs of professional wrestling. He's on top of the game, you know, and you've got to be. And this 30-minute match, you know, could turn into a 10-minute. You know, you never know what's going to happen in a titleship match.
You're right. It only takes 3 seconds for a pinfall victory to happen and a title to change hands.
Exactly.
And in between the ropes steps Bobby Doll. And the official says, let's get this match underway. Really got the crowd going with the Barbie Doll chant there. And a big kick to the midsection, forearm smash. It looks like Doll is going to open up now.
Oh, man, he's really taking it to me. I felt it the next morning. Bobby Doll, you know, he's a really crafty ring veteran, like I said earlier, man, and that word just sticks with me. He knows what to do. He's right there on top of it. And there again, look at the ref. He's seen exactly what's going on, man, and he's letting it go on and on. I don't want to win this match by disqualification, and you know me a long time. I want to either win by a pinfall or submission, and that's the only way. Look at.
You see Don Fargo there ramming the head of sensational Steve Savage into the ring post. There's really no call for that in professional wrestling, and I hate to see it. And, of course, Albert Williams' back was turned.
Where did Don Fargo come in? I can't believe this is going on. He wasn't here earlier in the dressing room. I didn't even see him in the parking lot, the building, nowhere. This man has just emerged on the scene, and you see pandemonium and bedlam throughout the building. The wild man, Don Fargo, man, I'll tell you what, Jackie Fargo, I remember the Fargos.
And it looks like Dahl ascending to the top turnbuckle. He's going upstairs. Drops the flying fist drop to the forehead. An illegal maneuver, and of course there is no kind of warning by the referee.
I'm not going to lie, that could have cost me the belt right there. He could have hooked that leg and went for a cover. Maybe a possible win, a pin right there, but, you know, there again, he didn't go for that. He's trying to weaken me down right there, man, that nerve hole. I'll tell you what, when you're in that, man, you're in a dream state of mind, man. It's going to put you out, the nerves.
I've talked to a lot of professional wrestlers who have had experience with holds like that, holds mastered by men like Toru Tanaka and Mr. Fuji, former WWF Tag Team Champion, and they say that it almost paralyzes a half of your body.
Sure does, man. It's like a sleeper, and you know, in a sense, but right there, I'm trying to come back, man. The USA chant's beginning. The fans are right behind me. I'm trying to give it all I had. You know, I'm still weak from that big fist to the face. Well, there, oh man, see.
Scooping you up like a small child. There you see the power of Bobby Dahl. He's got that compact build. I mean, he can just hoist you up in the air before you realize it. And there he goes once again to the nerve hole, trying to wear you down. That's the sign of a good, experienced professional wrestler, always going back to the hole.
Hey, I'm not saying he's not an experienced wrestler. Bobby Dahl is a crafty ring veteran. I believe he was at 5-star wrestling with Jeff Jarrett and all them guys. Started with the very best in professional wrestling. And what you got now is Bobby Dahl, former champion. As you see, I am the champion, and I can say proudly, not extra former. That's what Bobby Dahl has to look in the mirror every day and say that he is. And he's trying to win it back tonight. But it's not going to happen. See, right, well, there, he goes for a cover, yeah.
Hooks the leg, grapevines. That's another sign of an experienced professional veteran. Picking you up by the hair again. No warning from Albert Williams and a closed fist. He actually does warn him about the closed fist. I think that's just for show. I think, like you said, I believe he was paid off.
I believe he was, too. He saw that, man. I mean, we see it from where we're standing. The fans see it. Irish whip right there in the corner turnbuckle, man. I felt that. Dahl goes in for a splash, but I have just enough energy left from that big nerve claw pinch on the neck there to get back up.
A good presence of mind there. Irish whip into the ropes, and the big sleeper doling out a little of that punishment you received earlier to Dahl.
I seen Ken Lucas, brother, put a lot of men down and a lot of big men. Norville Austin, the Junkyard Dog, the Bullet, Bob Armstrong with that sleeper hole, and I'm going to try to do myself.
That was a good heads-up move by Dahl there to ram you into the turnbuckle to get out of that predicament, because if he had been in that for much longer, I really believe that he would have been out, and that would have been the match, and you would have retained the title standing up.
Well, there again, look at here, man. The referee knows exactly what's going on. I believe he was paid off. Bobby Dahl, I'm trying to get him back in the ring. Managed to get him back. We're both back in the ring, but look out. Look out. He ducks out of the way. I don't know what the deal is going on.
I believe that was some sort of collaboration between Dahl and Williams that completely backfired.
I think so.
Dahl actually clotheslining himself on the second turnbuckle, but there you see a low blow.
I believe so. I've got up to my knees. I've seen Bobby Dahl still standing. Well, he kind of standing. The referee was on all four. Look.
Now this I can't explain. I think that was frustration by Bobby Dahl after he paid the hard-earned cash, and then Williams didn't come through because Dahl had not won the title. He got frustrated. He kicked Williams out of the ring.
Look at this. I mean, Bobby Dahl is upset right away. You can tell. Look.
And he nails himself with the steel chair.
His mistake. My
victory, actually, and a 1-2-3 count by Williams. We're going to wrap it up here this week, ladies and gentlemen.